Imagine if an electric car no longer needed the same heavy battery to travel 1,000 kilometers. Charging time became much shorter, and even after years, the battery performance remains strong. How quickly could the EV market change? Toyota has been working on this change for a long time. And now, its solid-state battery technology is once again at the center of attention. But the story is not limited to a 1,000-kilometer range. The real question is, what is Toyota changing in this battery technology that is being seen as the next big step for the EV industry? And if this technology reaches cars on a large scale, will Tesla, BYD, and other battery companies have to change their strategy? What technology has Toyota used in this new battery? And why could Toyota's move change the EV industry forever? In this video, we will understand the range, charging, safety, cost, and real production timeline of this technology. Before we move ahead in the video, subscribe to the channel so you can watch videos like this first. Toyota has been making cars for decades and is known around the world for its reliability. But the question is, where does Toyota actually stand today in the electric vehicle race? First, let's talk about pure electric cars. These are cars that run completely on battery power and do not need petrol or diesel. Looking at the 2025 to 2026 numbers, Toyota's pure electric vehicle sales are continuously growing, but their share in the company's total sales is still quite small. In the first half of this year, from January to June 2026, Toyota sold around 190,000 pure electric vehicles worldwide. That is an increase of around 35% compared with last year. But Toyota sells more than 10 million vehicles in a full year. So, the pure electric share is still small. This means the company is moving in this direction, but slowly. But when hybrid, plug-in hybrid, and pure electric vehicles are combined, the story looks very different. Toyota calls all of these electrified vehicles, and their sales are reaching record levels. More than 5 million such vehicles are being sold annually. In the first half of this year alone, more than 2.7 million electrified vehicles have already been sold. This means they now make up more than half of Toyota's total sales. In simple words, every second Toyota vehicle sold uses a battery in some form, and that itself is a pretty big deal. Now, the question is, where are Toyota's pure electric vehicles selling the most? Their growth is quite strong in Europe. In some places, Toyota's electric vehicle sales have more than doubled. People there are rapidly adopting electric vehicles. Sales have also increased in America. Around 22,000 electric vehicles were sold there in the first half of the year, more than double compared with last year. But things are a little difficult in China. Local companies there are making good electric vehicles at lower prices, so Toyota is facing tough competition, and its sales are still relatively low. Now, let's come to Toyota's future planning. Toyota is taking a slightly different path from other companies. Its entire focus is not only on electric vehicles. The company believes that every country does not have the same needs. In some places, there are fewer charging stations. In others, people need to travel long distances. And in some places, electricity is expensive. That is why Toyota is following a multi-pathway strategy. This means it will continue focusing on hybrid vehicles while slowly increasing the number of pure electric vehicles as well. The company aims to sell millions of electric vehicles by 2030. According to some reports, it is targeting annual sales of 1 million or more pure electric vehicles. But for now, the bigger focus remains on hybrid vehicles because they are selling easily and also provide good profits. Now, let's talk about the range of Toyota's current electric vehicles, meaning how far a vehicle can travel after a full charge. Toyota's main electric vehicle is the BZ series. It was earlier called the BZ4X, while in some markets, it is now sold simply as the BZ. Its range varies across different markets. In America, the official range is around 480 to 500 kilometers. In Europe, some models claim a range of around 550 to 600 kilometers. In real driving, however, the range can be slightly lower depending on weather, speed, and road conditions. But generally, it can deliver around 450 to 550 kilometers. Toyota has recently improved the battery and motor to increase the range as well. Earlier, its electric vehicles were slightly behind in this area, but now they are starting to catch up with the competition. Which battery technology does Toyota use today? Now, let's understand what kind of battery Toyota is currently using in its vehicles. This is important to know because whether it is electric or hybrid, the battery is one of the most important parts of the vehicle. For now, Toyota mainly uses liquid lithium-ion batteries. This is the same battery technology found in most electric vehicles today. It is called liquid because there is a liquid material inside it that helps electricity-related particles move from one side to the other. Toyota uses this lithium-ion battery in its pure electric vehicles, such as the BZ models. Some of these batteries have a prismatic shape, meaning they are square or rectangular. Some newer batteries also use a bipolar structure. In simple words, the internal design of the battery is slightly different, allowing it to provide more power in less space while keeping the weight lower. But the story is a little different with hybrid vehicles. Many older Toyota hybrid vehicles, such as the Prius and other older models, have used nickel metal hydride batteries. This technology is quite old, but it has proven to be very reliable. Whether it is hot or cold, these batteries work well and can last for a long time. However, Toyota is now slowly moving toward lithium-ion batteries in its hybrid vehicles as well. New hybrid vehicles use lithium-ion because these batteries are lighter, can provide more power, and can also charge faster. In the coming years, more hybrid models may use lithium batteries instead of older nickel batteries. Toyota also pays a lot of attention to the safety of these batteries. The battery temperature is kept under control to reduce the risk of overheating and fire. In hybrid vehicles, the battery can be smaller because the petrol engine also works alongside it. But in a pure electric vehicle, the battery is much larger because it has to do all the work of powering the vehicle. There is one more important thing to understand here. Toyota makes some batteries itself and works with its partners for others. The company is continuously trying to improve these batteries so that range can be increased, charging can become faster, and cost can be reduced. The lithium-ion battery used today has become a very mature technology and is being used in millions of vehicles around the world. That is why Toyota is also relying on this technology for now. What is Toyota's solid-state battery technology? Now, let's come to the most interesting part, Toyota's solid-state battery. In simple words, we can also call it a solid battery. This technology has been discussed a lot over the past several years, but what exactly is this battery? And why is it so different from today's battery? First, understand today's battery. Most vehicles currently use a battery that contains a liquid material inside. Electricity-related particles move from one side to the other through this liquid. But in a solid-state battery, this liquid is removed and replaced with a solid material. The solid-state battery Toyota is working on uses a solid electrolyte made from sulfide. In simple words, where today's battery has liquid, this new battery will have solid material. Now comes the biggest question. How much can this increase the range? Toyota's target is for the first generation of this battery to allow a vehicle to travel around 1,000 kilometers on a single charge. This means after charging once, a much longer journey could be completed without worrying about charging. In the next generation, this range is expected to reach around 1,200 kilometers. Most electric vehicles today offer around 400 to 500 kilometers of range, so this technology could provide almost double the range. However, the actual range in a real vehicle will also depend on things like its weight, size, and driving style. But Toyota's target is clear. With this new battery, premium electric vehicles could reach around 1,000 kilometers of range. Vehicles like Lexus are likely to be among the first to use this technology. Now the question is, how does this battery work? The process is not very difficult. In today's battery, ions move from one side to the other through a liquid electrolyte. In a solid-state battery, the same process happens inside a solid electrolyte. The advantage is that the battery can store more energy in less space. This is called energy density. In simple words, more electricity can be stored in the same size battery. This can help reduce battery weight and increase the vehicle's range. There could also be a big change in charging. Toyota's target is for this battery to charge from around 10% to 80% in about 10 minutes. This means that in roughly the time it takes you to finish your tea or coffee, the vehicle could be mostly charged. Today, many electric vehicles can take 30 to 40 minutes or even longer for the same job. Safety is also considered a major advantage of this technology. Current lithium-ion batteries contain liquid electrolyte, which can create risks if the battery gets too hot. In a solid-state battery, solid electrolyte replaces the liquid, so risks like leakage could be reduced. This is why the technology is expected to be more stable and safe. Toyota has been working on this battery for many years and also holds a large number of patents related to it. The goal is not only to increase range. The company is also working to make the battery lighter, charging faster, and safety better. If this technology succeeds on a large scale, two major concerns people have about electric vehicles, how far the vehicle can travel and how long it takes to charge, could be reduced significantly. But one thing needs to be clear here. This battery is not yet being used in Toyota's regular vehicles. The technology is still in the development stage, and producing it on a large scale is not easy. Toyota believes it could bring a major change to electric vehicles in the coming years. The most basic difference between today's liquid battery and the new solid-state battery is simple. One uses a liquid electrolyte, while the other uses a solid electrolyte. This change is expected to provide benefits like longer range, faster charging, and better safety. Current status and launch timeline of solid-state batteries. Now, the biggest question is, where has this solid-state battery reached today? And when will we actually see it in vehicles? There is a lot of excitement around it, but it is also important to understand the real situation. For now, this battery is in the pilot stage and production preparation phase. This means the lab work has moved quite far ahead, and small-scale testing is also happening, but large-scale production has not started yet. Toyota is working with its partners to install machines and improve the production process so that when batteries are made on a large scale, defects can be kept as low as possible. Since this is a new technology, it is normal for this preparation to take time. Now, the question is, when will this battery arrive? Toyota has set a target around 2027 to 2028. This means the first vehicles equipped with it could appear within the next year or two. But that does not mean the battery will immediately be available in every model. It could first appear in expensive and premium models like Lexus, and even then in limited numbers. It will take a little longer to reach affordable vehicles. So, in the early stage, this technology will likely be expensive and available in only a few vehicles. Talking about progress, Toyota is not doing all this work alone. The company has also partnered with several other companies, especially for producing the electrolyte. Work on a plant is underway with partners. This plant is being built in Japan and is expected to be ready by the end of 2027. Toyota has also received production approval from the Japanese government. This means the necessary permission has been received, and Toyota officials are also saying that the company remains on schedule. But one thing is important to remember here. There is currently no vehicle available to customers on the road with this solid-state battery. Everything is still in the preparation stage. Some test vehicles may be running internally, but this technology is not yet available to regular customers. Toyota has announced launch timelines before that were later pushed back slightly. That is why people are looking at these claims a little more carefully this time. Work is moving quickly. Plants are being prepared, and approval has also been received. But it seems difficult for this battery to reach regular customers before 2027 to 2028. It is also expected to start with expensive vehicles. If everything goes according to plan, that is when we will get the real picture of this technology. Drawbacks and challenges of this battery. Now, let's talk about the side that may sound a little disappointing, but is important to understand. Solid-state batteries sound very impressive. They could provide more range and faster charging. But there are still some major drawbacks and challenges in the way. It would not be right to look only at the benefits without understanding them. The first problem is the cost. Right now, producing this battery is quite expensive. In the beginning, its cost could be 3 to 4 times higher than today's lithium-ion batteries. If the battery itself is expensive, it will obviously affect the price of the vehicle as well. This makes it difficult to bring it within the budget of regular buyers. Its cost is expected to come down only when large-scale production begins. Toyota understands this as well. That is why the plan is to first use it in expensive vehicles like Lexus. The second challenge is producing it in a factory. Manufacturing a solid-state battery is not that easy. The solid materials used inside it have to be made extremely thin and prepared very precisely. Even a small mistake can make the battery defective. Right now, the defect rate, meaning the percentage of batteries that come out faulty, is also high. Making a small number of batteries in a lab is one thing, but producing thousands or millions of batteries together becomes a major challenge. New machines are needed, and companies also have to learn a new production process. That is why preparing the plants and getting the entire process right is taking time. The third question is about its durability and life cycle. In simple words, how many years will the battery remain good, and how well will it work after repeated charge and discharge cycles? Early testing showed that some solid-state batteries started becoming weaker over time. Continuous use could cause cracks inside them or reduce their power. Toyota says it has found a solution to this problem, but the real answer will only come when these batteries are used in vehicles for several years. After all, people will expect the new battery to easily last at least 8 to 10 years, just like today's batteries. The fourth challenge is its timeline. Toyota has announced its arrival before as well. At one point, there was talk of 2020, then 2025, and now the target is around 2027 to 2028. This means the date has already been pushed back before. This is not unusual with new technology, but repeated delays naturally raise questions about whether the date could be pushed back again this time. Despite these difficulties, Toyota has not stopped working. The company is working to reduce costs, make production easier, and make the battery more durable. But these are not problems that can be solved overnight. So even if the 2027 to 2028 rollout begins with only a small number of vehicles, it would not be surprising. Impact on Tesla, BYD, Honda, and other companies. If Toyota brings its solid-state battery to the market on time, how much impact could it have on other companies? Especially, what will Tesla, BYD, Honda, and other EV companies do after that? First, let's look at Tesla and BYD. Today, these two names are among the biggest in the electric vehicle market. Tesla has long been strong in range and technology, while BYD has grown rapidly in China and many other markets by offering good electric vehicles at lower prices. So if Toyota brings a battery with around 1,000 kilometers of range, the pressure on both will definitely increase. They will have to work faster on their battery technology and longer range plans. Tesla is already working on new batteries, but Toyota entering the field could make the competition even stronger. BYD is also researching solid-state batteries, but if Toyota brings this technology to vehicles before BYD, then BYD may also have to speed up its plans. After all, customers will ask why one company is offering so much more range, while another is not. So, the competition will not be easy for either company. Now, let's come to Honda. Honda is also working on solid-state batteries and has already planned to bring them to its vehicles in the coming years. If Toyota reaches the market first, the pressure on Honda will directly increase, because if it is late, some customers may move toward another company. In that case, Honda may also have to speed up its work. The same pressure will come on other Japanese and Korean companies working on this technology. Everyone will feel that it is no longer just the time to prepare, but the time to quickly show real results. Its impact could also be seen in the battle for market share and prices. The electric vehicle market is already highly competitive, and every company wants to move ahead of the others. If Toyota succeeds in offering long range with fast charging, many customers could move toward it, especially people who travel long distances and do not want to worry about frequent charging. This could have some impact on Tesla and BYD's market share. After that, the price competition could also become stronger. Companies may either try to reduce the prices of their vehicles or offer more features and better range at the same price to keep customers with them. BYD is already strong in lower-price vehicles, while in the premium segment, Toyota's new battery could become a major challenge for Tesla. The pressure will not be limited to large companies. Smaller and larger companies that still depend heavily on older battery technology will also have to move toward new technology. Otherwise, they could risk falling behind. Some companies may partner with other battery companies, while others may invest more money in their own research. This means the impact could be seen across the entire EV industry. But one thing is most important here. All of this will happen only if Toyota's battery reaches the market on time, at the right price, and in enough numbers. If the launch is delayed or the price remains too high, its impact will not be as big. Even then, other companies may still speed up their preparations. Tesla and BYD could focus more on longer-range vehicles, while Honda could bring its plans forward faster. More competition will benefit customers because companies will have to work harder to offer better and more affordable vehicles. Impact on the global market. Now the question is, if Toyota's solid-state battery successfully reaches the market, what impact could it have on the global EV market? Because this is not just about Toyota. This technology could change the direction of the entire electric vehicle market. The biggest difference could be in people's range anxiety. In simple words, this is the fear of what happens if the charge runs out, where the charging station will be, and whether the vehicle could stop in the middle of the journey. Even today, many people avoid buying electric vehicles for this reason. But if a vehicle starts offering around 1,000 kilometers of range on a single charge, this concern could be reduced significantly. People may feel that they can travel long distances in an electric vehicle just like they do in a petrol vehicle. This could increase EV demand, especially in places where charging stations are limited or people often travel long distances. If demand increases, sales will also grow, and the electric vehicle market could move forward faster than before. The second impact could be seen on today's lithium-ion batteries. Currently, most electric vehicles run on these batteries. If solid-state batteries really prove to be better, customers will obviously prefer the new technology. This will put pressure on companies making older batteries. They will either have to reduce prices or improve their batteries further. This could also affect prices. Changes could also be seen in the supply chain. Demand for some raw materials used in battery production could decrease, while the need for some new materials could increase. In that case, companies will have to make changes to their existing systems. Companies that depend only on older battery technology could face more difficulties. The third major change could appear as a new race across the auto industry. Every major car company will see that if Toyota is moving ahead with a new battery, they will also have to move faster. The competition will then be about who can make a better solid-state battery, who can offer it at a lower price, and who can provide more range. This could push the entire industry toward new technology much faster, while older technology could slowly fall behind. Companies will spend more money on research and development. New factories could open, and new jobs could also be created. At the same time, the need for some older things could decrease. But this change will not happen all at once. It will appear gradually. If solid-state batteries remain expensive or are available in very few vehicles, their impact on the market will also remain limited. But if Toyota brings them at the right price and in good numbers, the EV market could see a major change. Customers could also benefit because increasing competition will push companies to offer better vehicles at lower prices. If more people adopt electric vehicles, it could also benefit the environment. Now finally, let's come to the most important question. How far could this solid-state battery technology go in the coming years? And what could it change for regular people? Around 2027 to 2028, these batteries could appear in a limited number of expensive vehicles, but reaching regular vehicles on a large scale could take until 2030 or later. By then, the production process could improve, costs could come down, and factories could be ready for large-scale production. This means the technology is expected to appear in more vehicles mainly after 2030. Now, what will regular customers get from it? The biggest benefit will be longer range. After a single charge, the vehicle could travel around 1,000 kilometers. Along with this, charging time could also be reduced. If the battery can be mostly charged in 10 to 15 minutes, the problem of stopping for long periods again and again will also decrease. Solid-state batteries could also prove better in terms of safety. This could make people less worried when buying an electric vehicle. the fear of long journeys will decrease, and using an EV in everyday life could become easier. So, the final question is, can solid-state batteries really change the electric vehicle race? There is definitely a possibility. If everything goes according to plan, the major problems related to EV range and charging could be reduced significantly. After that, more people could move toward electric vehicles. But for now, some waiting is necessary. We could see the beginning around 2027 to 2028, while the bigger change is expected after 2030. Until then, electric vehicles with today's batteries will remain the main choice in the market. So, there is definitely reason to be hopeful, but some patience is also needed. Subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that useful information like this reaches you first.